Hello, welcome to Let's Chat Presents. This is a series where we talk about doing upcoming podcasts with individuals. And today we have Stephen and Reese, and we're going to bring them on right now. And of course, as always, I'm joined by Chris Ball. And for those who've been watching consistently, I'm not Bree. She couldn't be here. I'm Chris Rebel of the podcast. Let's Chat with Chris Rebel.
That's boobs.
So I know, no Bree, but we'll try. We'll have fun anyway. So let's bring on Stephen and Reese. Stephen, how are you today? Reese, nice to see you today. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us with this. We're super excited. I've been getting to kind of learn a lot about what you do, and we got to chat a little bit beforehand. For those who missed it, I was joking around that it was funny that you two already kind of have a speak because you've actually met in real life. I really like that story, Stephen. Can you tell us the story about how you two actually met IRL, which is now, since everything's happened, it's becoming less and less.
Oh, that's all right. I'll say our side again. So what happened was, what you want? Well, you want me to do just the story how we met?
Yeah, what's your relationship?
So it was Anime Midwest 2017, I think it was. Yeah, it's Anime Midwest.
Like
Yeah, Anime Midwest 2017. Because I remember the year before I was going through some crap that I'm not going to go through today, but I was going through some crap, and I ended up next year going there, and then I was like, you know what? There's this character in Homestead called Trezzy. She's my second favorite. Equus is my first favorite out of all the characters in that thing.
I was cosplaying Trezzy.
Yeah, she was, and I was there, and I was like, you know what? I want to just find a cosplayer because she's a very hard character to find at any convention. I should know because I've been to millions of conventions, or not millions. I've been to a ton, and
Sure.
Endless. Equus is a much harder character to find.
Very much harder. I feel like when I do it, I'm the only one. But
no one wants to be the sweaty horseman.
Sweaty horseman.
That's exactly what he is.
But no,
nice.
I was at the convention and Serpent starts coming down the freaking escalator, and I'm like, "Holy crap! Wow, it finally!" It's so I take the photo with Serpent, and then she tells me that she needs help getting to finding a panel that she was trying to go to.
I think it was my first time at that con, so I had no idea where the hell I was.
Yeah, you were like, I was.
That's about right. Yeah.
Which con is this? Is that
Anime Midwest 2017. Yeah.
It's 2020. Yeah. Yes, Cam. I'm all for that.
Yeah, Cam, sweaty horseman. What the heck, man?
Hey, Chad. What's up, man?
What's up, Chad?
I love that, man. That's so funny. I'm a little, I don't want to say jealous. I didn't go to my first Comic-Con until I was 28. And I cannot even imagine if I was in high school, if we had Comic-Cons in the area that I could have gone and met people at. I'm jealous that you got to have that when you're a younger age. Which they were around. I just I wasn't going to get to San Diego anytime soon, and I never was able to get tickets to New York Comic-Con.
It was no, but Anime Midwest. I know I could see. I know that we have real commenters here, and I know they're gonna light up when I say this. But I feel like Con Out Delete is better than Anime Midwest because Con Out Delete, you're in one building or one together, and in an Anime Midwest,
but it's also smaller though.
Yeah, but even though you're jumping between buildings, it freaking it could sort of be a little.
It can be stressful, annoying and tiring. If you need to go between the two buildings for, back-to-back panels.
Yep.
Yeah,
but
it's a lot.
Otherwise, it can be kind of fun. It's also faster outside, but since it's summer, it's also hotter, which is not ideal.
Yeah. I've missed panels because as at Rhode Island Comic-Con last year, and they've extended it to multiple buildings, and the way it works with re-entry and whatnot. You had to go all the way through the Comic-Con, through another building, into a hotel, outside and around. And by the time I got there, I had because of just how lines and stuff move. I missed the TIC panel that my friend was moderating, and I'm a huge fan of the TIC the Amazon one is special. Well, all of them, but it was more. I'm a huge fan of the Amazon one, and I was so mad. Just like there's no worse feeling than being at a con, standing in line, not moving because you can't get to the location you need to be at for a panel. Fucking frustrating.
I mean, I feel like it's also just as bad if it's your own panel. One time I had to run to one of my panels because I had back-to-back panels. Oh, wait, no, actually, no, let me rephrase. It wasn't panels, to be exact. So, once again, Homestuck. It was really funny. I believe it was Connell's Lead. There were only about 4 Homestuck things that weekend, and they were all together. It was Homestuck photo shoot. No, it was 3. Homestuck photo shoot, which I wanted to do Terezi for, of course. But then there was Tagora with the other character who I wanted to do Tagora for. And then there were 2 Homestuck panels that I was in both of as Terezi right afterwards, so I had to switch. Luckily, they're both teal bloods, but I had to switch cosplay real quick and then run to the panel.
Oh my god! One of the things I love about like when I was learning about all of what you two have been doing like with the cosplay is I feel like Comic-Con is such like the best litmus test because like you put on your shirt or you cosplay as that thing, like it's the most niche of the niche of the niche you can get, and that's what's so great about Comic-Con. Like I'm gonna find that thing that I like that no one else I know likes, and even especially now Comic-Con is to the point, and I'm not complaining, but like it's more of a pop culture con than anything. Like there's definitely some people who got lost to the frat party on the way to Comic-Con nowadays.
Especially these days, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's so funny about how you two met because of your costume, which was like, I know what that is. Like that's just it's the most special feeling in the whole world. For some reason, I don't know why that comment's not shown. You might have to give yourself permission to SteamYard. But 2 writers who wrote for the Tick wrote for Cobra Kai. Really? Ooh, whoever that is. If you're
I heard about this. I don't remember who it is, but I did hear about it because I never saw the Tick, but I saw Cobra Kai. So
I've never seen Cobra Kai, but I've seen the Tick.
One thing I do want to point out, though, is that even though I have been to anime conventions and comic conventions, and I can tell you the difference really is huge. Like, when you go to an anime convention, you know, there's My Hero Academia, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Naruto.
Yeah, that. Like, Dragon Ball.
Oh, yeah, well, so that's a transcendent no matter what generation you are.
You know, the Kami Ha.
Homestuck.
At least I don't know where you are, but like at least up in New England, in New England, like they had an Anime Boston, I think it was, and then like Comic-Con, and then they merged into one. And like my brother-in-law remember being very upset because like basically what ended up happening were like the anime got warped into Comic-Con around here, and it's like this big, and it doesn't get nearly the love it should.
Can anyone tell what my favorite anime is?
Nice. Oh, Peter V. Oh, yeah. Peter hosts a wonderful, he's a bud friend. He's a podcast host for Hydrate Level 4. I believe he's doing the Cobra Kai companion, old network mate. Thanks, Peter. I'll have to check that out.
I think I've only been to one anime con. I think I went to the one up in Portland, Maine. That was the one that I could get to at the time. I believe I actually had a friend take me up there because he actually thought it was a Comic-Con originally because he had never been to one. So he had me go up, and then we got into the doors, and he I at that point I've been exposed to anime in some form most of my life. Him, on the other hand, was pretty new to it, except for like for our age, early morning before school, seeing Dragon Ball Z and getting up super early to watch it. And yeah, he was to say a little culture struck. Especially wall-to-wall cosplay everywhere, and it's not a single person you will have any clue or context to what the hell you're looking at. It might as well have been a foreign land, and I'm sitting there just going, I get you. I don't know you, but that's a hell of a good job, something like that.
Oh yeah, it is so cool. Well, look, you got a question. It must be Bree on our account who couldn't be here. This is for you, Reese and Steven. What are your favorite characters to dress as?
Dun, dun, dun.
I have to say Tagora, because he's fun, other than the gray face paint, which I hate. But other than that, without the face paint, Villain Deku from My Hero Academia. But,
nice
version.
Oh, God. Who do I like? So, okay, I'm going to be real. I only have been doing my OC, who needs a lot of work for the past 4 years or however years it's been. But when I do get it together, I do like Beyblade again. We're going to bring this up again.
I love it.
But there's the main character of the original Beyblade is called Tyson, and I want to cosplay him. And when I do, I'm not bringing this with me to conventions because I'm not breaking this. This is from my childhood, and so when I cosplay him, I'm going to bring him to convention, and it's going to be the best.
Inuyasha is fantastic. I want to make a cosplayer for him at some point.
So I'm now learning something. I don't know you all. I didn't know that our dear friend Bree, producer Bree, likes anime. I did not know that until the second. So thank you for teaching us this.
I feel like everybody has at some point in their life, whether or not they realize it. I mean, depending on considering how many American cartoons from the 80s and 90s were so bloody inspired by anime to some extent. I mean, if you look back at some of, I can't watch them like Thundercats and all the old cartoons. I mean, look how directly influenced they were by like the crazy machismo 80s looking cartoons.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, they all, both America and Japan play off each other ridiculously.
Although America manages to make everything really annoying.
Yeah,
like
this is
that
true.
Whatever that guy's name in Thundercats that goes, what is it, Snarg?
Yeah.
Every 5 seconds.
Snarf.
That's it.
He's just like, he's like the dumb, lovable character that's useless. He's just like the
But
the
he's
jokes.
not lovable. He's
Well.
terrible.
He-Man's got that too. They get the little magician guy who's only a cloak floating around. It's the same thing. It's just a dumb comedy relief.
They can have comedy relief without it being annoying.
Yeah. Well, it was the power of America too, because it was all about product placement. It was all about making money for toys. The toys came first, then the kid cartoon.
Oh yeah,
that's how He-Man started. It all started just. I was watching a documentary about it.
The toys
all
that made
about
it.
toys.
I watched that one too.
Yeah,
It's really good.
How it was made. I think it was.
I think it's the toys that made us. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
They
I
made,
think I'm like a season behind. But then again, it's only like 8 episodes.
yeah. The Turtles one was really cool.
I really like, me being honestly, everyone who's listening and everyone who knows that here knows I'm a huge nostalgia freak. I love nostalgic things. So like when it comes to anime, like I grew up on Sailor Moon, and then I moved to Beyblade, and then I moved to Metabots. The original Pokemon was good.
I grew up on Pokemon and Speed Racer.
Speed Racer, there you go.
I watched a ton of the original Pokemon. That's actually the only. I'm a huge. That one.
I like some of those shows that kind of keep coming back, reiterating every generation in either a new or in a new light of the same idea. Just because of kids, every generation can have it now. Like if I try to get my 5-year-old, for instance, or my 11-year-old actually daughter to look at original Pokemon, whatever. But the new one, she's glued to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of, one of those relative things. But she loves Sailor Moon of all forms.
Yeah.
So I think it just depends.
I love that show. People say that Sailor Moon was only made for girls, but I love that show because that show
plenty of guys like Sailor Moon.
I'm sure it's very focused. It was very focused towards that way, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything, especially when you start crossing over culturally, because we may not pick up things that they meant for them over there. If we were us, we were like, oh, that's perfectly fine. It's great for guys. Where for them, it could be completely specific to something cultural for them.
Interesting.
But we get lost in translation.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
but
Bree, hitting us with the comments. What character is dressed up as too often at cons? Oh, geez, that's a real interesting question.
Definitely
Too much. I don't know. Maybe at least for myself, when I go to con, it's in November, so I always will see usually it tends at least
Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool.
In every form.
Harley Quinn is popular. You always feel bad for the people who pick costumes that don't have adequate warmth. This is Rhode Island in November, and we have to wait outside for 2 hours to get in with
at the same time, though, they made a conscious choice with that.
That's true.
It's very true. Absolutely.
It's November. It's December. You made a choice.
I know. Yeah, I think Deadpool. What about you, Steven?
Something can be said about you made a choice in the summer to wear that winter coat with your cosplay because the character wears it.
That's fair.
No,
you gotta plan ahead.
Are we talking about are we talking about what characters is worn most often anime wise, or just in general?
I imagine in general, hard to say with anime to be exact because it tends to vary depending on what's really popular. Like, for example, right now it's My Hero Academia, so it's, Deku, Bakugo. But once My Hero passes, who knows what the next thing will be. I mean, there's always Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, but they're just kind of, around.
Let's see. I feel that from all the cons I went to, I feel that who do I see a lot? Obviously I see My Hero up the yin yang, like yin yang up the yin yang. There's always Dragon Ball Z. There's always Naruto. There's always Homestuck. Well, Homestuck
you can't escape Homestuck. It's always there.
It's part of you. It's part of your life. When you're in it, it's for life. Like the NWO, it's for life.
So cute. That's too funny. I'm curious. So I know, you cosplay and your friends and stuff. Like, let's talk about your podcast too. Tell us about it. Give us your little elevator. What's your elevator pitch?
Well, I'll start with mine because then it blends into our podcast, the one we do together. So I started Cyber Time Bite back in 2017 because in 2017 that's when Adventure Time Guys was going this way, and so I need something to go back up this way. And so I started Cyber Time Bite because I wanted to do the more interview thing. And not saying I'm trying to beat like Joe Rogan or anything. I can never do that. I
don't know, man. He keeps going the way he does. He's just gonna be out of a job.
Hey, Steven, man, you want to try some mushrooms and talk about DMT and why guns are awesome?
Okay, no, I'm okay. I got.
That's a great point. White supremacist.
Spotify's gonna kick him soon.
It's just so we're throwing it out there. I just like to tease them.
That's all right. I know, but I gotta throw out there too that I'm also straight edge, so I don't drink, smoke, or do drugs ever. So,
wait, we gotta pause right there. How old are you?
27.
And you're still held edge.
19.
Good for you, man. That's awesome. Oh yeah, I grew up in the hardcore scene in Connecticut. Usually straight edge people. Usually the joke of it is with straight edge people is usually I'm surprised you didn't announce it within the first 3 seconds. I'm edge, bro. But that's fucking awesome. You kept it going. I've talked to a few people. I had interviewed Jeff Garlock, who's like a musician, but he played in Orchid, but I think he's like in his 30s or 40s and he's still edge. Like there's like a list of people who are still keep going edge. Like I don't know him well, like Bill Conway, who's one of the co-founders of Hard Time, still edge. So good on you, man. That's awesome. I don't drink or smoke cigarettes or anything. And I was edge for a long time, but that was just because no one would sleep with me. But other than that.
Well, but anyway, then after I started doing Cyber Time Bite, that was going good, first year out, second year out. But then I was like, then I was listening to like my favorite podcast. I was listening to some of my other favorite podcasts, like Front Row Material and Mike Freeland and Mikey Whipwreck and Jerry Lynn. I was listening to all the Conrad ones with like, with Eric Bischoff and all those. And I was like, I'm gonna do something like that. I think that would be a cool concept, I wanted to do something where it was like a subject-based thing, and I wanted to do it with someone that I'm like friends with, and someone that would love to do something like this. And so like I remembered like oh yeah, Serpent has a lot of ideas.
I do have lots of ideas.
And so it's like, then we got into talking about it, and I was like, hey, how about we do like this podcast where we just like take a subject, talk about it like bi-monthly or bi-weekly, or started weekly, then it went monthly. And then we started doing it. We started with episode 1, which episode 1 was about basically Serpent and how, and just like her life from, yeah, it was basically a big gloat fest. That was episode 1. And
what's that podcast called again?
In the Serpent's Pit with Serpent's Breakdown.
Yeah. I was trying to find a way to do it on the little bottom, but I don't know how to change it, but that's awesome. Are you both were you both scene kids as well?
Well, I had an emo phase back in high school where I thought I thought Escape the Fate was the coolest band ever.
I was never a scene kid. I was just kind of there the whole time. I mean, for a while I wore black a lot, but that's just because I had a lot of black and white in my closet. I was just, watching anime, and I'm just like, this is fine. This is all I need in my life, anime.
That was kind of me for a while. I had give it kind of short off my age right there. I had all the seasons and VHS box sets. And I had to glue myself in the house with a Domino's pizza and just hide in my attic bedroom at my parents' house and just watch anime.
I do actually have an entire anime series on VHS that I bought at the library.
It kind of looks amazing, especially if it's those old ones. They just fit better. The age matches that style.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Chris, you would recognize you. This is our age on this too. Suncoast me on video.
Yeah, Suncoast. Yeah,
that's what I used to get.
The old FYE, right?
Yeah. Well, that's basically what this is.
Yeah.
They didn't have the music. It was all movies.
FYE is still around.
Yeah, I was at a very, very, very desolate mall today, actually.
Yeah.
And half the mall, 2/3 of the mall is completely just closed up at this point. It's bad.
Yeah, because we had Suncoast, we had FYE, we still have FYE, but FYE, the one by me, and now it's basic. Do you have Newberry Comics out west where you are?
We have Geek Inc., Thunder Comics,
Ooh.
a bunch of local things.
No, Newberry Comics doesn't go past New England.
Oh, okay. So it's for anyone listening or watching, if you're not from New England, it started in Boston as like a comic, it's like a nerd store essentially.
Yeah, it was a comic store starting out.
Yeah, it's like a regional chain of just like comic books and toys and all clothes. But now FYE has kind of seemed like they've changed, like around here, like all those places that used to sell CDs are now like the CDs are like the third thing you go there for. It's more
they're
like
kind of a boutique.
toys.
Like they do a boutique for kind of nerdism and pop culture.
They
have eye holes. And I just think that's fantastic at FYE.
Oh, Steven, that shirt is awesome.
What, this shirt? Oh, thanks.
I think I own the exact same shirt.
If you can tell, I got this. Actually, I got this at Comic-Con. This is my Ghostbusters glass,
Nice.
and I haven't broken it somehow. And it's been like 4 years.
I have a vinyl record behind me of the single for the theme song of that, and it smells like marshmallow. Does that count?
Are you excited for the reboot or whatever they're calling the new one?
I'm intrigued.
The new Ghostbusters?
Oh, the soft reboot.
The new Ghostbusters with Ivan Reitman's son wrote it.
Wolfheart.
I'm interested. That's about it so far, since I don't know much.
I like that all the entire cast is back.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, they're all doing it. Paul Rudd's in it. What's his name? Wolfheart, the one that is in Stranger Things.
Yep. I'm hopeful.
It looks good. It looks fun. It looks like a good enjoyable action, like an adventure.
Now, there's something I'm going to grab real quickly. It's right over there.
Go for it.
Right back.
Okay.
Gotcha, man. Yeah, it looks promising. I mean, I'm hoping that that this world will clear up, but we all know that's not going to happen. So we'll see it on streaming soon enough, or VOD.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm for one. I'm here for the reboots. I'm all for it. I'm like, it brings it to a new generation. I don't know, like
I'm more timid than I was in the last movie, but actually I'm a little less timid than I was in the last one. The last one just felt like a goddamn spoof.
Yeah, you know what sucked about the?
What's that?
I liked it though. Yeah, I liked it.
I watched part of it and it didn't grab me, and then I felt bad. I was like, man, this sucks because I liked everyone who was in it, everything about it. Maybe it was just my mood. It had such terrible controversy around it that really stole from the fact, because I love Paul Feig. I love all the actors that were in it. I might need to give it another try.
I guess they cut a lot out of that movie too. Like they cut a lot of context out of that film that Chris Hemsworth was talking about. There was so much dialogue. There was so much of scenes that they never finished, and they decided, "Fig, just the hell with it. I'm out of here with it." And it connected more to the original movies. Explaining things, maybe like an alternate universe type of thing, or something like that they could have tied into. And I think he might have continued with that thought process if it did well.
This is something I didn't know until I went to Comic-Con, that I didn't know, like, ghost heads. Like, I watched the documentary since then, but like I have a friend of mine. There are people I know who love Ghostbusters as much as people like love Star Wars. Like there's whole fandom.
There's like they walk around just as much as the stormtroopers do. They have their own little teams. Absolutely, I see them in every damn con. They have their own table everywhere. Yeah, come take a photo with us, right next to the stormtroopers.
Next to the stormtroopers.
Yeah, I know. At least one of them's got good aim.
No. Can I tell you something about that? So I was in Wisconsin like a year ago, and I was at this restaurant called the Wild Boar. And it's a restaurant up in way upper Wisconsin, and it's like a breakfast place. And in the bathroom on the stall, it says, "Aim like a Jedi, not like a stormtrooper." Okay. But here's the thing. No, but here's the thing I wanted to bring because it's important to my podcast. But this is the DVD for the Beyblade tournament that I told you that I filmed. I have a DVD and I made it.
That must feel so cool to hold like a physical copy of something you made in your hands.
Nice.
That must feel amazing. How did you get that done?
I have this program called Rhine Soft DVD something maker. It's a program where they literally outline the DVD cover for you, and then it's just flat, and then you design it. They line out the spine for you, so you can put the front on there. You can make the spine, and then you print it out, you cut it out, and then that's how it turns into the
good old DIY.
Fucking awesome! I'm gonna hit you up afterwards because now I'm like, I want a DVD.
Well, but here's the thing. I also have my first ever panel I have ever done on DVD right here.
Oh my god, 2019, but what? Oh, that is so...
I'm glad I don't have my first panel on DVD because it was a dumpster fire.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Gee, I wonder what I ripped off.
Can we hear about the dumpster fire? Because I love a good dumpster fire.
I mean...
It makes me feel better about my own life.
I mean, it's not like it was completely terrible. It's just... It could have been better. I got saved by one of my friends because she basically ran the panel for me, and it was much better because of her. I'm just like last minute, just like, yo, want to come with me? She's just like, sure, and I'm just like, thank you. Basically, it was so to explain here, I really like making characters and stories and whatnot. So I'm just like, let's make a panel where I help people, figure out how to make stories and OCs and whatnot, because I feel like I can help with that and how to do it. So I did. And to be honest, I can't remember completely how it went. I just remember it was not ideal.
Good thing it's not videoed.
Yes.
That's so something else. So how did you two both get to that position where you're like running a panel? Like, I know anyone listening, even myself, like, how did you even get that opportunity? Like, what did you do to make that happen?
Well, it was at Con Altitude. I remember because my friend, I was staying in her room, which is how I ended up asking her, because I'm just like, want to come with, because same room. And basically, Con Altitude, that you can just submit panels, so I did.
Yeah.
And voila, they accepted my panel.
Huh. I give you a lot of credit. I mean, you say it's like so small, but like as you said that, there's just like, it's like, oh, just submit. But there's so many times, and I'm very guilty of this, where I would just get in my own way and talk myself out of doing it. Like, were you nervous, or you just like the hyper confidence that you don't have anywhere else in life just showed up like, I fucking got this?
I mean, I that's my thought process while I was submitting it until I actually got there to the panel. Since at the time I was definitely a lot more socially awkward than I am now.
It's funny how I got my first panel. It's the most inconvenient thing. It was probably the most, not inconvenience, but what happened is that I had these other guys on my podcast. He said like, hey, you want to go to DaishoCon this year? And I was like, DaishoCon? I wanted to go there for years. Like, that was the one I always wanted to go to for the longest freaking time. And they're like, yes, I want to go. And so the panel submissions were opening up. And I was like, oh crap, can I act like, is this actually going to be possible? Can I actually pull this off? And so I went to the website, I submitted my panel. I was sweating like no other because I was sweating of oh my God, am I actually going to get this?
You were embracing the aqueous.
Yes, I was. and I was sweating like crazy. And then I get the email saying, holy crap, you're accepted. I was like, oh my God. And so what I had to do is that, I had to put it on DVD because it was my first panel ever. And so.
Absolutely, man. You need to kind of, I'd say get it out no matter what. Because at the very least, you'd be like, hey, this tanked or dumpster fire, as Surfing wanted to say here. At least you have something to learn off of. Like, okay, next time I got to make sure not to fucking do that. That was okay, but Jesus Christ, I got to turn that down about a notch. Or, maybe I stop saying so goddamn much or one of those type of things.
No, but here's the funny story, and this involves Serpent, all right? So at my second panel I ever done, which didn't get on DVD because I don't know why it didn't happen. It just
didn't happen.
Didn't happen. So
say Levy.
So Serpent over here said, I'll show up to your panel. It'd be awesome. Yeah, I'll be there.
I think I fell asleep.
Yeah, and then she tells you, I just fell asleep on the floor. Like what I'm thinking is that, like, were you just standing there or sitting there and then you're just like,
sounds like my wife.
I was tired. Okay, it's a convention.
I never thought of submitting a panel. I want you to know that you're both like blowing my mind right now. And almost like, oh man, I missed the boat on that one. Because that's like
maybe
a dream of mine.
Like if you're gonna do a panel, do it with other people though. It's kind of hard to run a panel yourself.
Oh, it's like running a podcast completely solo. It is a nightmare. I did it for the whole 7 episodes, and that is about as much as my attention span could handle. I've never fought myself more in my entire life just to keep caring. No, it's too much. You need someone to bounce off of.
Yeah,
you have to.
I mean, and you two, have you been? What episode are you on your podcast now for the Serpent's Breakout?
21. We're at 20. We're about to do 21 next week, and my podcast is at 100.
I was gonna say you're in the hundreds.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys are out there.
I think I'm at 115. I think that's.
Wow, dude, I was just doing this virtual boot camp thing today with Interview Connections, and one of the stats they threw out there was that the majority of it was like a business thing, but it was like they're talking about like guest booking or whatever, and they're like don't guest on podcasts with under 20 episodes. So I guess 20 episodes seems to be the moment where most people call it quits. So like if you make it to the big 2-0, you've leveled
usually
up.
between 7 and 20 somewhere in there.
That's like the number. Because usually they call that pod fade when people. I've made my own podcast. I pod faded more than once on different shows that no one ever listened to. So I've been there. But
I'd say that's with any medium, especially art, creativity, music, anything. It's like I know people are musicians. It's like God forbid how many songs that they've just said, "Fuck it, I'm done with this shit." Like I've gone through about 30, 40 songs before I found the one that I decided to fucking finish. Yeah. Or writing too.
So what keeps you two going? What keeps you two podcast? Keep continuing the podcast? Because I fellow podcasters with you, it's a lot of work.
Boredom.
I got the answer.
Dun dun.
Heinekens. No, I'm kidding.
For us, it's cannabis. But yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No, we
get Allagash.
No, we do it because I feel we keep the Serpent Pit going because the pit is endless. There's no bottom to this pit.
There is no bottom to the pit, but also because he keeps reminding me.
Yeah, it's. I mean, especially now with the way things have changed, it's. There's something nice about having like a forced social aspect of your life that is virtual too. And now that everyone's doing it virtually, there's something kind of nice that like us doing this is the same way that like CNN is basically doing their interviews right now. Like we're no longer the little dogs.
Most of the talk shows or anything like that are like that in some form. It's you might as well either be home or they're in a studio by themselves, like a bunch of damn fools.
What does that say? Oh, podcast plans for the future growing there.
Even when she's not here, she's running shit. Thank you, Bree. That's Bree.
She's pretty much the fucking backbone of everything, the brain of this whole goddamn operation.
She's awesome. What are your plans for the future? Like, because there's different levels of podcasting. Like, I mean, I did it as a hobby for 6.5 years, and then maybe 3 or 4 months ago met all these people and
It
were like,
fucking blew
maybe
up.
we should try to do something with it. But what do you have? Are you have a world domination, or just for fun, or what do you? I mean, I don't.
World domination. I don't know.
World domination would be epic, but
Well, you guys have a great niche. I mean, there's nothing more stronger than an anime community. Holy shit!
Well, an anime community that's just spouting random nonsense, which is most of the podcast. Just the topic this week, I don't know. How about we talk about Halloween?
That are bashing other people or other people's interests or loves.
probably the most informative episode we have ever done. Sorry, I'm not trying to swerve off what we were talking about, but probably the most informative episode we have ever done is probably the Yaoi episode, because Serpent can go on hours.
I have a lot to say about Yaoi.
Serpent knows Yaoi more, like not more than me, but like she knows Yaoi just as much as I know wrestling.
It's not the most ideal thing to know a lot about, but I do. Yes, I know a lot about anime gay 18 plus.
I was just watching a TED talk about this, but there's been, which is kind of interesting, there's been this like paradigm shift where when I was younger, I'm obsessive Simpsons fanatic. That didn't get me anything except made fun of. But now with the new age of the internet and stuff, which I think is amazing, and podcasts and all these new mediums, it's like you could know about that weird thing that maybe only you like in your life, and then become unintentionally the expert or the authority, and you find niche communities, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, it's not weird that I know every fucking thing about this detailed anime because someone out there thinks it's cool. And what's so great is that both of you have a podcast where you get to talk about these topics in a way. And isn't it weird to find people listen to me? It's a strange feeling sometimes. Even now, people listen.
As I always tout on these shows, especially with him, as he knows, and I've been told, it doesn't matter if you have thousands of people watching you. The only thing that matters is that 100, 200 people that watch you, because they're the hardcores that'll stay with you no matter what. They'll pay your Patreons. They'll pay for extra content. They'll follow you around. I mean, I have friends that do that show.
I'm still looking for that group for my own content, to be honest, because I have yet to find them other than technically my friends who will still look at my content.
Keep digging, you'll find it. And who knows, you may even find new people to jump on that.
Links in the comments right now so people can find them. We'll share them afterwards too. Let's plug you out.
Yeah, the thing is we never thought about doing a Patreon. Dude, I don't think the
Patreon.
I don't have a Patreon for the podcast, but I've got a Patreon for my art.
Yeah, it's all the same. I have friends that have been doing it for podcasts forever, where you're such and such tier, you get extra bonus material, bonus audio or video, specific merch that's only for the Patreon, custom made stuff, whatever, shout outs.
That reminds me, briefly going back to the question there for a second, that I technically did not answer. Podcast plan for the future. I want to make I'm working on making a weird not weird podcast, but a podcast you guys know Night Vale, right?
Yeah,
I want
of course.
To make a podcast.
That little thing.
I kind of want to make just a podcast, kind of.
Yeah, like an audio drama.
Yeah, an audio drama. Although mine so far is more just a bunch of short weird stories.
So almost like an anthology.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's.
Listen,
I'm currently working on that.
It's a great idea because you can constantly keep doing something new every time. You don't have to, and then you can interconnect some, lightly or heavily. So just like how some horror movies do that. It's a good idea. I have a friend that
I love your art, by the way. I was looking at your stuff earlier today when I was doing research. I really like the style.
Yes, thank you. I try.
Only so I'm trying to. Can we do an animated podcast? I'm like, oh, that's a cartoon.
You see, that's one of the things. I mean, I'm running the wrong way. There we go.
Yeah. You gotta watch for the directions.
No. Serpent's art, man, is something else, man. I mean, it may not. I know Serpent will agree with me. It's not the best art I've ever seen, but let me tell you, man, it is really, really good, and I love it. I haven't commissioned Serpent for it yet because I don't know what Serpent's commission prices are.
There is literally a commission thing on my Instagram. It says commissions.
Yeah,
it does. I didn't see it.
It's got a duck. I showed you my duck. Please respond.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, like, it's really good. I love the art, man. I mean, like,
I have a whopping 97 followers, which is not ideal because I get like 3 likes on my posts. Like, 3 people saw my post. Fantastic.
It's still 3 people.
Yeah.
So 3 people, get 3 more people, and you get 100 followers, and then you just keep going. People, the more you get it.
Social media at this point, it's just like I heard it referred to as pay to play. Like, unless you're boosting your posts, ain't no one fucking commented on shit. I struggle so hard with Instagram. I had to give it up to somebody else because I'm like, I have such a hard time with it. What's your Instagram link? I'm gonna pull up your art. What's your link?
Serpent's Breakdown 21 is me. I don't have today's or yesterday's art, but I've been doing like an October thing, like Inktober, but not October. I've been doing Eldershtober.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have the last 2 days though, because I forgot yesterday's and my internet's been broken today. Although we now have the internet working. Woohoo!
I gotta ask. Is that picture behind you that Danny Phantom one you draw, or did you?
No, this is all stuff that I bought at conventions.
Oh, what is your Instagram? Bree wants to know.
Well, I have Serpent's Breakdown and Serpent's Breakdown 21, but my Serpent's Breakdown, when I get around to it, might be changing to Freak Show Fever Dream, while my art Instagram's turning to Serpent's Breakdown. Whenever I get around to it.
Oh yeah, that's the hardest stuff in the whole world. Were you always an art kid growing up?
Definitely. I've been doodling my entire life. Because at this so where my mom worked was this like extended time after school, and one of the at the time she was a teenager, worked there. She was really cool, really good at art, and I was just like, you're good at art, so I will do art. I want to impress you with my art. Obviously my art was not great because I was like 8 years old, but I'm just like, look a teenage lady kind of role model now at my art.
That's so funny. Have you seen this trend? And I really hope it picks up. That people do things where they take clips of their podcast and then have someone animate it, like and make like 34, like a minute like long clip or whatever. I'm like, I know some people have been doing that. I was like, oh, I hope that takes off.
I feel like it would be a dumpster fire if someone did us, because it's all what we do is just random shit. Just like talking about Pokemon. Oh no, wait, I saw a squirrel. Talking about squirrels now.
I have ADHD, so you are in the right company.
No, there's
something about staying on track. I was like, you could do that in a conversation because I'm literally thinking about 7 things at once.
No, I remember when we did we ended up doing a 2-part episode on the circus because I'm not huge. I'm not personally huge on the circuit personally, but
you're huge in our hearts.
But I mean, like, I like it. I respect it for what it's done. But like it's not like I'm a huge fanatic of it. But anyway, we did that, and it was so funny because it was just like what's that the episode where we said hashtag cheesy fries or whatever, and I wanted to do a t-shirt of that.
It's entirely possible, but don't make a t-shirt of that. Cheesy fries are not something we can make a t-shirt of. People can just like looking at just like, how is this related to the podcast?
Hey, everyone out there in listener in the comments, hashtag cheesy fries. Am I right? Okay.
Listen, sometimes the most random, just innocuous things become some of the most important things, just out of nowhere.
I mean, true, but at the same time, aside from Steven bringing it up, it's not been brought up since.
No, cheese fries.
Cheese fries are good.
So you guys could develop a t-shirt that says hashtag cheesy fries on the back of it for no reason.
I just really love Portillo's cheesy fries. That's just the thing here. I just love their fries. That's all there is to it.
I'm so nostalgic now for like bad con food. Like there's nothing better than go to a con and you eat the shitty convention food that day. It's awful, but there's something that makes
with ramen. You can't go wrong with ramen.
No.
Right?
Ramen. I mean, ramen is the anime thing. Like, if you're not eating ramen during anime, then what are you doing for
ramen's like the hot dog of that cultural situation. It's in every corner, everywhere in Asia. It's as common as a McDonald's, really.
Do you get real ramen, or are you talking about the bad, like the dollar ramen, like the real stuff?
I mean, the stuff at the convention is just the ramen cups, but
yeah.
I try and make my own real ramen, but obviously it's me making it, but it looks fancy and it tastes good.
Oh, I love ramen. Oh my, it's my favorite. It's soup and noodle, which are my two favorite things.
Exactly, you can't go wrong.
Oh,
I got a place down the street that does all types of Asian noodle. They're called Uba Noodle.
I've got a ramen shop next to the haircut place I like, so when I'm getting a haircut, I can just smell ramen, and it's fantastic.
Oh. My favorite place in Providence closed, and I'm still sad about it. Like my friend and I were just talking about yesterday how sad I am, and I gotta find a new noodle bar.
I go to there, but it's hilarious with me because I have to take takeout. Because even though they say it's fine, I feel completely obscenely out of place because I don't use chopsticks. It's because I have carpal tunnel, so my hands won't do it.
Oh.
I just have,
and I look like a goddamn idiot. What's that?
I just have bad coordination. Like, how does one grab with chopsticks?
Well, yeah, that was half my life, and then for like 3 years it worked well, and then my hands, because of computer repair over many years and others' job, my hands won't do it anymore. They just start aching out and losing dexterity. So now I just look like a fool with a fork. So
roll for dexterity, natural one.
Plus, yeah, exactly. I lost one place and gained it nowhere else. Right? Apparently, podcasting.
Well, there's three things, if that's okay, if I want to bring up.
Get on it,
man. So one thing is that I know Serpent told me that you don't know how to snap.
I can't snap.
I was thinking about this last night when I was at work. Serpent, all you do, no, you take this finger, right? You take your middle finger, take your thumb, squeeze it together.
I just get little. I just get little mushing sounds. I get mushing sounds.
This is like telling someone to whistle.
Yeah, I can't whistle.
I can whistle.
I swear to God, it's like
I couldn't snap until I was like much older. Do you have a lot of fine motor? That's fine. You draw because like I don't have good fine motor skills, but you know how to draw, but you can't snap.
I mean, anyone can draw. People consider things like dancing and drawing as like a skill now. When it's just something anything can do. You don't have to be good. It's like
I think it's a perception.
You don't have to be talking to do it. I
think it's an eye of the beholder.
Yeah, but you're good at drawing, and I am objectively bad at drawing.
Everyone's good at drawing, in my opinion. Like,
I mean,
the thing is that
if I could find some cats I drew for my daughter, you'd laugh.
Well, maybe you just didn't find the right thing to draw.
I mean, the thing is that people consider it a skill now, but technically, talking's a skill, and I still do it. I'm terrible at it, but I do it.
Yeah.
The second thing I wanted to bring up is that I wanted to break this on this podcast because I knew this was going to be special, and I only told one other friend about this, but I'm actually possibly going to be getting a new job.
No way!
Because my current job is
And random unrelated fact: during the first few 10 minutes of this, I was literally applying for a job.
Are you allowed to talk about what kind of work you do in here?
What, me?
Are you able to talk about the kind of what field you're in? Or everyone, I work in the behavioral health field, so I don't ever say the name of the place, but just so I don't get fired.
Yeah, it's fine. I can. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind sharing. I work for I'm from Chicago, obviously. Well, we're both from Chicago, but I work for Joe Osco. It's a company, it's a grocery store, and I work on the end, and I don't like it. 5 years of doing it, and I'm just done.
I was a cashier.
Yeah, I used to work graveyard shift stock crews up here for two different grocery stores many years ago. Trust me, I know all too well.
Shaw's Produce, baby. Did that for 4 years.
Stop and Shop in Hannaford. Yep.
And
a new job.
Yeah, and the third thing I want to bring up, and Serpent's actually involved in this one, is that Serpent's actually running a con. You want to talk about your con?
Yes, I'm running an online anime convention. Halloween weekend.
Way to bury the lead. We should have started with that.
Maybe. But it's called SpoopyCon with a P because spooky. But it's got an Instagram, SpoopyCon, and it's taking place Halloween weekend, the 30th to the 1st. And it's hopeful. I think it's gonna be great, but also there's only 3 panels. But I'm hoping for some more panels before then. But we got an anime room, we got a game room, we have lots of amazing artists and some really cool cosplayers. All of them except for 2 are my friends technically. So They are great cosplayers.
This is incredible. I mean, with everything that's happened, like everyone's trying to rush right now to figure out what to do. Like virtual cons to get on the ground floor like that. That is so. Where can people find it online? And how can people
well, we have an Instagram. It's SpoopyCon. Not much else to it than that. Just SpoopyCon. We got the skeleton logo, and all the posts are about SpoopyCon.
How do you spell that?
SpoopyCon. SpoopyCon.
The reason I bring it up is because I'm actually running a panel there on Sunday, which is the first, right?
It's about his podcasts.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a panel there on Sunday. I think that's November 1st, and that's going to be at 11 in the morning. So I got to make sure to not be working that day. And then I'm gonna obviously put it on DVD because
why would you are really onto something.
Also on the Friday of the con, because I bring it up because I feel it's important, but I'm running a queer anime, manga, webcomics, and gaming panel.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Basically, it's a bunch of fun stuff that I found. I actually am working on update with some of the new stuff that I found, and I even go over some 18+ stuff because you gotta have your 18+ stuff.
Yeah.
Well, to be exact, I do. I gotta have my 18+ stuff.
There's a huge market or like overlap with the LGBTQIA community within like con and anime and stuff. I'm so happy to see that you're. We're all allies here, so helping them show that representation is so beautiful. That is really exciting. I'm so happy for you too. What made you think like fuck this? We're gonna throw a con. I think that old saying. What is it? Necessity is the mother of invention. Like,
I mean, I was just like, I attended like 2 or 3 really cool online cons, and I'm just like, you know what? I want to do this, and then I was just sitting here just like, and what should I do it for? Halloween, because I love Halloween also. So for a while I was selling character designs, and I drew for like Halloween. I drew these 8 cool designs. No one bought them, and I was really sad. So now they're all our mascots.
There you go.
Cool. So how did this idea come together? Oh my god, just the idea.
Turn a front upside down.
Yeah, just the undertaking to put a con on at home, like.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it would be fun. So.
Hell of a lot easier than in person.
Yeah.
Kristen, we moderated a panel online. It was a punk rock doc filmmaker table, and we put it together in 2 weeks, and it nearly killed us. It was awesome. So I can't even imagine.
Well, it was it was in the last minute. Well, it kind of was. The parts that really were required to work properly were last damn minute. Like it was like the week. We had one of the filmmakers actually. He kind of became the executive producer. He's the one that pulled a lot of the triggers to get things working. And he really gave us a hell of a lot of help and attention. Oh yeah. I was doing everything behind the scenes on the service we're using right now, and Jesus, I was like the conductor in the back, pulling the strings and pulling the gears, the timing for all the videos, and it's a lot, especially without a lot of pre-thought.
Yeah, for us to do that panel, we did it and put it together, start to finish in 2 weeks, and it was a lot of work, and it was awesome. But like a whole con.
I mean, I have been working. I mean, I've definitely had a lot more time to work on it since I've been like working on it since July.
Okay.
I did draw. Currently, all of the art involved with the convention, I did draw myself as well, like the logo and all that stuff. I also, since the con is taking place on Discord, I'm just like, well, what can we do with Discord? So I drew emojis.
So how do people attend the con? Like, if I want to go to this,
basically, so obviously you got to make sure you're following the Instagram because that's how you'll know when stuff's happening. But follow the Instagram, and then on the day before the con, the 29th. Shoot. Fine, take it. Just go. But basically the day before the con, I'll post the link in the link tree, which is linked to the
everything.
Yeah.
I love Linktree.
And then you can just you can hop into the Discord server from there. everything is in the Discord server. You know, we got our panels there, and I'll be holding a little opening ceremony. I've been putting together a little slideshow that talks about everything that's gonna be going on during the con, and going over the rules again, because I'm pretty damn sure no one read the rules. And then you just
for you too.
check the schedule.
That's incredible. I love anyone who's just like, it's that punk rock attitude to be like, can't have an anime
100%.
Yeah, fuck you. Yes, I can.
It's 100% that.
Is one of my favorite cons happening this year that I'm excited about.
Which one?
Con Alt Delete in December. I'm excited because me and some of my friends are going to be cosplaying the characters from Obey Me, which is one of those shall we date games. So they're all anime boys, and I regret nothing.
That's so cool.
I get to be my single brain cell dumbass, and it's gonna be great.
That's beautiful.
The thing I also wanted to bring up too, on top, I mean, SpoopyCon, I wanted to bring that up, but also the month later, I'm gonna it's in the description. You guys put in the description, but I'm actually an official signed on guest, like I'm on the guest list for Con Off the Cob this November.
Congratulations, man! What's that one called?
Con Off the Cob. It's the original name's Con on the Cob, but since you quarantine, it's Con Off the Cob. And
is this the site conoffthecob.com? Looking at.
Yeah, it's called Con on the website's called Con on the Cob. I submitted a panel there, and I don't know if I got it yet, but
well, if you didn't after this, you're getting it.
But like that's gonna be really awesome. That's gonna be really cool. But I know Super Rim is just talking about Con Alt Delete just right there. But can I share something about that real quickly about that whole thing?
Oh, please do. This is incredible.
Now I'm not trying to be Mr. I'm trying to ruin 2020, not trying to give no one their fun. But here's what I personally, it scares the crap out of me if my friends are going to be there, because virus is still around here. And even though there's masks and social distancing, still, you know how a con environment could be. I'm afraid that someone's going to catch COVID out of this thing. No matter how big and how many
gotta
people.
Be careful.
I was gonna say there's a con. There's actually what was the other con? There's another one happening in person that everybody's like, what the hell are you thinking? Like it's almost.
Which one that is.
There's one coming. I think it's LA Con or something.
Yeah, that's it.
Even my friends in LA who do cons, like they work for San Diego on the side through vendor. They're like, you're out of your minds.
Yeah. You can just see certain companies that just don't give a shit. I think, isn't Cannes Film Festival still happening? No, Toronto.
One of them is gonna, but how they do it, I don't know.
They weren't going to require mask, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to require me going to this. I work at a hospital, so like I am Mr. Precaution Central.
I work retail, so I mean, we don't have mandatory in my job, but it's heavily encouraged.
I don't have a job.
Yeah, you're putting a con on.
Unemployment.
Let's figure a way to get you to do this where someone pays you to do it.
Yeah. Oh, thinking about SpoopyCon as well, real quick here for a second. I was thinking about doing a Spoopy Christmas edition around Christmas.
There you go.
So yeah. SpoopyCon comes back for Christmas.
Yeah, just do a special.
I wonder if you're like kind of at the forefront of the future. Like, is this what you'll see more of? Like, just people putting on their own conventions? Because I miss that community. I'm so sad I'm not going to go in November.
I like the notion of this too, especially because I have a feeling that when things do start coming back in line where we can go meet in person, I think it's going to be back. I think it's going to get close to the old days where our old days where it is literally like a comic convention. Like it's a convention hall, a small. It's not like these huge, massive pop culture things where it's just endless halls of nothing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I want to go see these art designers, these comics. Okay, it's about 3 miles that way, past this, and this. So what the hell? I remember one of the first ones I ever went to was in it was like a Days Inn, basically, like a little convention, like the little convention hall in the middle. That's like it's basically what they do for like weddings and conference hall. and it was just like a small local comic book store was running their own, and then had local artists and vendors come in, and it was like, at any given time there's maybe 30, 40 people in there.
That reminds me. A library near me at one point had their own little con, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing. Anybody could do it. You're not there to make a lot. Depends. You're not there to make a ton of money, and if you do it the right way, you don't have to make any. You don't spend any money.
Serpent and Steve, you kind of. Breed's gonna kill me because I'm gonna come back to her like, hey. Well, next time we have our Let's Chat meeting, like Chris with everyone, I'm like, hey everyone, I got inspired. We're gonna throw a convention. And they're like, no.
Well, we had one up here, not convention, but we had like a New Hampshire. One of the guys up here who's like you, Chris, like Mr. Motivator over here, for New Hampshire podcasts. He used to do once a year. He does a meeting with all the podcasts where they all come up and they have pizza and do whatever, and then he rents a hall and just does this big thing, and then they have virtual meetings and all kinds of like trainings and So I mean, you could totally grab that by the horns.
Still listening, get to work.
Bree, do it. No, I'm kidding.
No, because you see,
Also, real quick here, I'm gonna switch to my computer because my phone is dying. I was originally on my phone because.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah, just gonna.
Yeah. I'll make it.
Yeah. So no. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I feel like them running Count Alt Delete this year is not the best idea. It's not the shiniest idea in the bottle.
No.
But they're going to do it anyway. I can't stop them.
And I'm back.
I wonder what.
There's always going to be like the rebel who wants to fight against everything, whether it be the right thing or the wrong thing. There's always.
She's right.
Yeah, I mean, we all. Anyone who knows Anime Midwest or Count Out Delete knows that the guy who runs it, everyone hates. Everyone hates the guy. No, I mean, Serpent, can you tell them the story why everyone hates the guy? Because I don't know why.
Hey, what again?
The guy who runs Count Out Delete and.
Right, sexual harassment.
It's convention. That's not convention. That sounds about right. Yeah, like that works. Yeah.
I mean, but I'm still gonna go though because 2 of his cons are the only 2 I get out of my 3.
I think that's the thing though. It doesn't really a person, even though he created it, a person the convention. If it's beloved enough, it's going to be greater than its parts. Like as far as that, like it should be able to grow. It's like music. If you can look past the person's questionable situation, depending on how severe it is, you may be able to look beyond that and enjoy it anyways because that one person's not the whole machine.
I've gone to plenty of concerts where the owner of the venue or the promoter is a piece of shit, but as a concert, I'm not in the band, so it's like, what, but it's nice to hear y'all have a social conscious. Oh wow, it's already been an hour. That shit went fast.
Yeah.
Before we start kind of wrapping up, is there anything that we missed that we wanted to hit up on? We want to hit upon?
Well, I know another online convention that I'm staffing.
Well, she doesn't have a job. She's busy.
I know.
It's not one that I'm being paid for, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, you sound like us. Like, how do we get paid for this? Because
listen, some of the best jobs are the ones that are free first.
True.
Because that's what gets people's attention for other stuff. Because that's what that builds your repertoire.
Now, there's a question I want to ask you two because you guys are music junkies too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Depends on what it is. Yeah.
You guys obviously know that Eddie Van Halen just passed away a few days.
Of course.
Do you guys got any memories of his music or anything?
I remember one of them I remember in junior high school, one of my teachers, because I have a learning disability, so I was always in the special ed classes and all that crap. Yeah. Especially in those days, you were pretty much separated from the world. I had this really cool helper or teacher or whatever in one of the side classes that pretty much made a deal with me because he was a musician. If I did my homework, I did this, that, and the other, he would make me mixtapes. And he was a metal musician. So, and I didn't have a lot of pretext when it comes to that kind of music. I grew up on, Led Zeppelin and, then whatever maybe in pop stuff, but not a lot of that. So I did that. And I remember, and he, in the meantime of him making me those, he gave me a Van Halen CD. Now I heard them before, but I never heard them in the context of the whole album, or beyond like a commercial, or Hot for Teacher or something like that. Which for me was just it's out of even my generation. It's like whatever, it's just as they call it, a cock rock or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it was always something that kind of blew me away, because it's like, this music sucks, but the guitars is incredible. Like, this guy is like classical music virtuoso, but he clearly is enjoying the ride, getting drunk and getting laid. That type of mentality. It was like the Beethoven of rock and roll.
I love that.
In that sense. And I never was a huge fan of them, but it was always like that always stuck in my head. No matter, whenever I hear that guitar, it's like Slash, Guns N' Roses, or you guys always anime, K-pop, or anything like that. Like, there's always distinctive notes or something that you'll go, I know what that is. I'll always know what that is. And that's with him. Like, it was always that particular something. And I'm not a musician by any stretch of the imagination, but if I can recall that note every time, there's always something to be said.
Yes, my brother growing up and my dad are musicians, and my brother played a lot of guitar.
Fancy.
I had to hear a lot of Van Halen solos as my brother was trying to learn them when we were younger. But when I was in college, my friend, my good friend Steve Query, his dad grew up and went to high school and was part of like the Van Halen crew. Like, growing up as like his father like grew up was California, right?
Yeah, he was a roadie.
I know he's a roadie, but it was just like the same way I would go to punk shows at coffee shops was the same thing with him, except it was Van Halen.
He was kind of a fanboy.
It was just like
following him around.
Eddie and all those guys were just like his English class, and they were all just dumb idiot friends that get fucked up and get drunk together and like just do stupid shit when they were kids, and then they turned into fucking Van Halen. So like that's insane. It'd be like if Nothing Star, the band I saw when I was in high school.
I have friends like that with artists. I have friends like that with like artists like actually you're talking about Adventure Time. One of the guys from Adventure Time, my buddy went to school with him and not even realized it. There's just this doofy dude, and then he went to Cal Arts, and next thing you know, here he is. It's a freaking Adventure Time. I have a friend who did that with Rebecca Sugar from who the maker of Steven Universe. Same thing.
My Universe.
Wait, you're friends with the person who made Steven Universe?
I'm not, but my buddy used to know him. Like, she used to know her from like these circle groups at a coffee shop type of thing, where she would just go out and just be doodling these goofy, these kind of round, fluffy characters. And this is while she was in college.
I love that stuff.
Because it was all that generation. That's why that whole Cal Arts generation is what came up from their regular show. All the noodly arms and that specific type of style.
Because my personal Van Halen moment was, I don't remember the first thing I heard about them, but I know their album Van Halen 1, the first album they ever made. That album kicked so much ass, and that was such a great album. Their last album, A Different Kind of Truth, was a really good album. That was their last studio album they ever made before he passed, and that was a great album. Guitar Hero Van Halen. I'm a huge Guitar Hero freak, so that game was amazing.
Oh yeah, I played.
I was a rock band guy, but yeah,
I played the drums poorly,
and
I sung poorly.
But on top of that, I mean, like, what? No, wait, Chris, what were you? Rebel? But not Rebel. Ball. What were you talking about after the Van Halen thing? What were you going off about? Because I had something on that too.
I have riff. I don't remember. I'm blanking now. Shit. Now you asked me that, and I just it got talked over, and I completely forgot now.
No,
continue. I'll get to it.
Well, I mean, this is what I gotta say though about me podcasting, and this is for everyone out there who's listening who wants to start a podcast themselves. When I started, it was crazy. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just wanted to do something just to be my job. I started podcasting because I wanted it to be what I wanted to do as a job. And, honestly, I have a job on next to my podcast, but I hope one day I can turn podcasting into my job. Serpent didn't go over it. I don't know, Serpent, if you want to go over about your business you want to start up and all that stuff.
I've got a lot of things I want to do. I want to make webcomics, which I'm currently working on. I want to make some podcasts. I want to start a few businesses that I've thought of. I want to make a few video game ideas that I've thought of, and
that creative
various art
energy.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, a lot of ideas. A lot.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the same mentality I have. I mean, like that. So with the podcasting thing, when it comes to the podcasting thing, I'm hoping I can quit some job or some way to be able to also have benefits too. I mean, so I don't have to, when I break my arm, I don't have to pay $300.
Well, that's the fun part, is like the fun stuff that you love to do to make money off of one day. But then the other aspect, be like, I got to be a responsible adult, because damn it, if I hurt myself or my teeth start hurting or something happens, we're like, oh, I guess I'm going to pull out the pliers or just going to wrap some ice on it and hope it grows back to straight. You know what I mean? Like the freelance notion is a continuous. That's when you get a partner that you're married to or with that has insurance.
Yeah, that's the takeaway. Everyone marry up with someone with a good, stable job with some benefits. And
my plan is to be the best friend in the household. They're married, I'm best friend.
You put me on that HMO. Well, thank you both so much for coming on to Let's Chat Presents.
Absolutely.
Where could let's start with you, Serpents. Where can people find you online?
Well, mostly Instagram. That's the stuff I use. Serpents Breakdown, on Instagram. Serpents Breakdown 21 for my art, and through both of those you can probably find SpoopyCon, or you find SpoopyCon then find me through them or it. And yeah, that's mostly it for me.
What about you, Steven?
You can find me on Twitter at NostalgiaVamp. That's mainly where you can find me on Nostalgia. No, that's where you can find me on Twitter, because that's where I spend half my time almost.
Yeah, that's majority of my time too.
That's me, but Instagram.
You can find me on Facebook at CyberTimeBite, which is the official page for the podcast, and I also do the updates and stuff for our podcast in the Serpent's Pit. So you can contact me for one of those. You can find me on. I'm also on Instagram under Nostalgia Vampire, which is I just did the whole name because Nostalgia Vamp, I guess, was already taken, so I just put Nostalgia Vampire on Instagram. So that's where you can find me on Instagram. You can buy all my merchandise for my podcast, which has a spork on it.
Is that Redbubble that you use?
Yeah, Redbubble.
I'll buy a spork. Yeah, probably.
I have Redbubble too.
I like a spork.
Yeah, Serpent has Redbubble too. Make sure to check out both our Redbubbles. I'm Crash Steven Gear, and you're
Fanatic 21, I believe. It's an old one, so I can't figure out how to change the name. So
sound like me.
Fanatic 21. I don't know why I chose that though.
And we'll make sure we'll be tweeting and sharing all these links as we out into the world too. So please, people, follow online and give them a follow. Check them out on the old internet. Ball. What about you, man? Where can people find you?
Let's see. Let's see. Twitter's at Irish on Fire. It's same thing on Instagram. Facebook should be that as well. I believe that's it, anyways. If not,
I want to make a quick shout out. I don't know if he's still here, but Cam, thanks for coming, man. Because that was awesome. I don't know if he's still here, but thanks for that, man.
Yeah, they were super nice. And I'm your host of this version of tonight in place of Bree, who couldn't be here, but I'm actually kind of happy I got this one because this was really fun. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Let's Chat Revel. We have a podcast website is letschatpodcast.net, and at Let's Chat Podcast on all the things: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, Let's Chat Pod, YouTube, all that, because no one likes this stuff. No one likes when you just tell me your links like I'm just saying them all out loud. Interact with us online. We have a Let's Chat Facebook group, and I think that's probably the best place to connect with all of us because it's really fun, and we talk about a lot of nerdy shit and music. So thank you so much, and have a good rest of your evening.
Bye.